Hello, how are we getting on? Radio Magic here, back with another Zendikar Rising Draft. I've been loving these drafts so much, I just can't get enough. I've been not as recording as many as I wanted to, but I thought I'd bring another one today. See how we fare, see if we can get another 7 wins. If not, we'll settle for 5, I guess, the win. But no worse than 5. So let's have a look at this first pack. We have some interesting cards. We actually have some really powerful ones. Really good pick with Skyclave Shade, which is the rare of the pack. A recursive threat that works well with landfall. It's going to be good in pretty much any list you play it. Good in clerics for the sacrifice fodder. But yeah, enough said on that. White doesn't look too appealing. Domination is good. Vine Gecko's good. Bubble Snare is good. Priest is good, Balef's good, Feed the Swarm. This is a really, really good pack. Difficult to pick. I think I'm just going to go with the rare in the pack and kind of be happy with it. But I'll be happy with a Vine Gecko. Woohoo. Okay, so the rare in the next pack. Something interesting as well. Something I've not played with yet. I love the Simic Kicker list. And more so than I enjoy picking the Shade. If we were going to stay with the Shade, we're probably looking at a Moss Pit Skeleton, since they synergize rather well together. It always enters with 2+1/+1 counters, and then we can put this back on the top. But some people are pretty hot on the Moss Pit Skeleton. I'm not so hot, since if it went to your hand, I would definitely see this as a really powerful card. I guess you're drawing like a 5-power creature every turn that you can put a counter on, but it's not the most exciting thing in the world, and obviously 2 of these work really well with each other. I think I'm happy enough to speculate on taking the Kicker card, since I'm yet to play with this, and every time I've played against this, it's just been insanely powerful. So we'll give it a go and see how this goes, how this fares. Essentially, it enters with a +1/+1 counter in it for each mana spent. So if you cast it, X is 0, it'll enter 2 counters. And then when you cast a kicked spell, you may remove 2 counters from it, and you may copy the spell. But obviously that works for, say if we kicked this, we'd create 2 copies of the kicked spell. So extremely powerful. So had we have taken a black card in our last pack, we'd probably be looking at taking the Gloom Hunter, since it would have synergized with the skeleton. But since we picked up this, I wonder what we're going to take. So, considerations, I would play a Skyclave Plunder. I'm happy with that. One of the better removal spells in the format. And an Expedition Diviner. I think I'm going to go with the Skyclave Plunder, since this isn't really the set for wizards. This is not the colour for wizards. So, again, had we have gone black, we'd be taking the Blight Priest here. Sorcerer's really good. Sorcerer's really good, actually. So, I'm yet to try the Rakdos party list, which I don't think this is at its best at. It's definitely better in wizards. I think we're going to take the Royal Mage. The signals are at the moment that wizards might be open if this has come round, but it is only the 3rd pick, and if wizards are open, then we're going to be happy playing this. So, I'll take the Royal Mage. At the moment, we're just trying to find our direction of the draft, and at the moment, I think we got a pretty good direction going. Obviously, Demon's Disciple, it's all right. We're not gonna beat around the bush. It's a cleric. It works on the list, but it's not anything compared to what beauty we have over here. So it's probably just going to snap up another Into the Royal. I say another, this will be our first, but hopefully first of many. Other cards in the pack, I think I'd be really happy with an Ambush. I don't think, I know I'd be really happy with an Ambush. I'd play Glacial Grasp, Blood Beckoning if we were in the right colours, but it has to be an Into the Royal here. Works really well with the Royal Mage. Here again. So, interesting pick here. I don't know which card is correct to take. We have the Colony, which is obviously a 2-mana 2/2, or it can be a 5-mana 4/4 with Kicker. Works really well with the Split Current, since we'll copy it and we'll get for 5-mana 2 4/4s. Or we have Vastwood Fortification, which is obviously in its own right very powerful for being a double-face card. I think at the moment we hedge our bets on curve considerations, though there's every possibility we could be these 2 colours instead. I think I'm going to speculate on taking this. I guess if we were these 2 colours, it wouldn't matter what card we took. So some people have been high on the Cleric. I'm not a massive fan of it. It does fill a gap for Skyclave Plunder, but I'm not a massive fan of it. And I think I'd rather just speculate on taking a black card here in case we like get cut out of green and need to play black-blue, in which I'd be really happy to play that. So, interesting choice here. It's actually really tough between the Skyclave Pickaxe, which is okay in its own right, but the Skyclave Sentinel as well works really well with the Split Current, and it's just a really good blocker. I think we'll start putting these into curve. I think we're going to play it as a bit of a late drop. I think I'm going to take the Skyclave Sentinel. I think overall it's going to be more helpful. It's either a 3 mana, 2/3 blocker, which I'm more than happy with, or we can kick it later on to potentially create multiple of them, and it can become an attacker. Also, if we can just put a counter on it in some other way, then it goes up in value. So I think it has to be just a Bubble Snare here. Real easy. Take the removal spell. If the Bubble Snare wasn't here, then we'd probably be taking Stampede. And if we picked up multiple white double face cards, then we could be in business with picking them up later on. So the good cards keep flowing. While Cunning Geyser Mage is not the best card in the world, it's a kicker card. It's got some synergy. Hopefully we pick up some other kicker payoffs, since we only have the one at the moment. But it's either a 3-drop or a 6-drop. Take your pick. Here, I'm not really happy with any of these. Maybe an adventure awaits. We might play a Pump Spell. We're not... The colours we're in are not known for their removal. Okay. So, notables and considerations to put in the list. Obviously, 2 mana, 2/1, pretty good. It does actually have a little bit of synergy. With the kicker, we can create multiple of them. And we can steal opposing Skyclave Sentinels. We can steal the artifacts that people have. The 3 mana Cleric one and the Wizard one. Equipment as well has its synergy. So at the beginning of the set, I was really high on the Infiltrator, but as the set sort of progressed, I haven't been as high on it. And I think you definitely want to be playing it in blue-black rogues, just so you can consistently make it unblockable. I consider it a better way of closing the game rather than through damage, rather than closing through card advantage, though it can do both. I think it's a choice between the Skydiver and the maybe Blight Blade, but I think the Skydiver is going to have to be the shout here. And I think we've been rewarded. We have an Inscription here of Abundance, not something I've played in this limited format. I've played it in Constructed a little bit. I let people give that a bit of a read. So there's quite a lot of text on it. It's probably going to have to be the pick here. I hope everyone's already given it a read. Maybe give it a pause. What would we be passing up if we didn't take it, for example? There's no blue flowing. If we were in black, still we'd be happy with this. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to play this, but if we're in black, we could have taken this. Hopefully we'll defeat the Swarm, but yeah, I'm going to take the Inscription here. So we were just talking of stealing artifacts. We have the Relic Vial coming up. I think it's just going to have to be Baloth here. So Baloth, when I first looked at it, was such an underwhelming card. But when you play against this card, turn 5, you're attacking for 6. With a 6/5, it's quite overwhelming. So I think it's going to have to be the pick here. We're not really passing up on anything. Not much to really say here. I would really like some more kicker payoffs. Probably just going to be a Scythe Cap. Territorial Scythe Cap. So the thing that I like about kicker, while I'm complaining that we haven't got many kicker payoffs, we've got the one. They're good in their own right, in the sense that you can play them early, and they're pretty fine cards. For example, take Tazim Royal Mage. It's really good if you play it on turn 2. Well, it's okay if you play it on turn 2. But later on for 6 mana, it can really propel you into the lead by picking up an Inscription again, picking up an Into the Royal. So yeah, it's pretty good. So if we wanted to splash, then we have Reclaim the Waste. And I actually think this is an okay card anyway. We can copy it to get more lands, sort of thin the deck, pick up some fodder, maybe pick up some discard bits later on. I don't know what there is in the format. We could splash a colour with that if we wanted to. Not a card we necessarily want to splash since it's got 2 colours of mana in it to get the full value out of it. And I think this is actually going to be the pick. I'm kind of happy playing one of these. All the good cards come around in the same pack. So I think it has to be an Ambush here as our first double face card. But the Colony is really good as well. This is more of a higher drop. This is more of a 4 drop. What's this, a 5 drop? Hopefully we're going to be playing this as like 6 maybe. This is going to be like 6 a lot of the time. I'm going to play the double face card. It's always interesting with these drafts how people... So we got another Kicker payoff. We have a ton of cards with Kicker. Most of our cards with Kicker we've been taking. And this is definitely one of the premium payoffs in the list. So really happy with this. Feels out in the right colours. It's something I've been really enjoying about this format. The archetypes are just so fun to play. And I'm still yet to play them all. Kicker seems to be where I fall a lot, along with Clerics. And there are other lists as well. Rakdos and Party has been something I've been really enjoying playing. Something you don't see too much of though. It's not as easy to go into Party as it is some of the other archetypes. I don't know what we're playing here. Maybe we're splashing white. And we're playing this. I think I'm going to take first Spell Shield over third Skyclave Sentinel. I tell you what his deck really wants. It wants a Roost of Drakes. And if we see one, I would cover your ears, ladies and gentlemen, since I'm going to lose my shit, as the kids would say. I think we've nothing really here. We have seen an infinite number of Tazim Raptors. I hope not to have to play that. We're sort of approaching a full list at the moment. This couldn't be an easier pick if we tried. We're gonna just snap up a Mammoth here. I'm one of them players that while it's an obviously clear pick, we're taking the Mammoth here. There's no reason why we wouldn't. We'd take it above some other cards that weren't complete crap that were in our colours. I still like to evaluate every card in the pack. Sort of go round. Just double check. There's no reason. The timer, you have quite a lot of time. There's no benefit to wait to moving faster than you need to. And we're not really passing up anything in this pack. Yeah, and I mean, the good cards keep coming. It's actually difficult what we take here. I don't think we're taking the Lotus Cobra. While a really good card, I think the Risen Riptide is exactly where we want to be. Going turn 3 Risen Riptide into the Royal, or just any kicked card is very good. But Lotus Cobra would have been really good here. I'd be happy with the Wizard as well. I really want to rare draft this. How many do we have so far? We have 3 or 4, so I'm not too disappointed of it. But we definitely want the Risen Riptide a bit more. One thing this deck is missing is a little bit of ramp, and as I say that, we get Scale the Heights come up. This also works a little bit well as well with the Skyclave Sentinels. Having a counter on things is actually pretty good. I don't really want to have to play this if I don't have to. I think we are going to play this though. I think we're doing okay on 2 drops. Hurts my soul to pass a Royal Eruption, but you do what you must do. Of course, they put the difficult cards in the same pack. I say it's difficult, like, we'd love a Tazim Royal Mage, we'd love a Diviner. How many Wizards do we have? 2. Maybe we wouldn't love a Diviner that much, but we're definitely going to take the double face card here. Get to buy back something late game. It can sort of start a cycle as well, so we could buy back, like, the Royal Mage, which can then buy this back. I don't know what benefit that has, but it could get back something else. I don't know. You know where I'm going with that. The opportunities are endless. So I'd really like the 2-drop. We were speaking about ramp, wanting some of that, but at the moment I am a little bit worried about our top curve since we don't have much happening. We do have some powerful things we can be doing, and like I said, Kicker is something that scales with the game. Maybe you want to... So field research is a possibility as well, but we have this guy, Clave Plunder, so I think I'm just going to go for Stomper, especially since we have 2 double face cards. It goes up in value. Difficult again what we're going for. Maybe we're going for a double face card, throw off some combat tricks a little bit. But I think the choice is just going to be a Royal Mage here. I quite like the Royal Mage. We have quite a few instants and sorceries. We have 8 instants and sorceries. And we're passing up on a double face card, which would be good. But I'm happy taking a few extra 2-drops. And yeah, we're in the right colours. It's what we call a fact. It can't really get much better than this, can it? When this is coming round this late. Behemoth. What are we cutting at this point? I think we have so many double face cards. Maybe we're just cutting a land. I think we're playing Behemoth though. I'd like, again, how many of these do we have? We have 1, but it's not something I'm particularly interested in picking up. Take an uncommon. I guess we'll take this uncommon in case we're playing white. We're certainly not, but I don't know. If we had some Rabid Bites, I'd consider playing the Blight Blade, but our deck feels plenty powerful enough. So yeah, list ended up very good. I know beggars can't be choosers, but we'd have really liked a Roost of Drakes. That would have pushed this list over the top. I think a Roost of Drakes would have been a little bit unfair. It would have felt like we're playing some form of a constructed list. So I'm probably instantly cutting a land. Now move this up here. Sort out our curve a little bit. Maybe we just don't need to play. The Scale and the Heights work so well with the Sentinels, but maybe we can just cut a Sentinel. Maybe it's just a Spell Shield, actually. And we're not too worried about protecting our threats since we have so many of them. Yeah, I really like the... I wouldn't normally play Scale the Heights, but with the Sentinels, I quite like it. So what? We're playing 16 lands. 17, 18, 19. And I'm actually, like I said before, I'm more than happy to play these out. Less so the Mammoth, but more so these, since we can pick them up later on. And I think that's going to be the list. Only thing now is to pick our lands and decide how fancy we'd like to get. This is genuinely one of my favourite parts of the draft. Picking the lands we will use. While I enjoy playing Constructed, obviously you're going to have so many dual lands that you only run a few basics normally. Let me go past blue. I already know what I'm picking for blue. There is no competition with the art. I didn't realise they sort of mimicked it here. Just the full art version. You cannot beat it. Let's move on to the game 1. Okay, so game 1 in the Zendikar Rising Draft, we're playing some Simic Kicker with a definitely higher end of the power level of the Kicker list you can get. We're missing some of the key threats like Roost of Drakes, but beggars can't be choosers. I think this hand is okay. We have something to slow our opponent down. We're probably going to save Reclaim for later on. We have quite a few landfall payoffs with the Baloth, so we definitely want to get as many lands off this as possible. Shouldn't probably have played that first, since our opponent now knows what we've got in hand. I think we're still playing this out. I have hope that we will top deck a land. If not, turn 4, we could always go grab a land, and play Baloth. This is going to help us hit them land drops. And what do you know? Have faith. So next turn we might be looking at double spelling. We could either go Baloth, kick and into the Royal, or we could go Colony and Bubble Snare. I don't think we need to worry about kicking this. And I think I'm happy to trade Mammoth here since we have so much value in hand. Yep. Our opponent does not want to trade. Racing might not be the best thing here. I wonder if it's just... Oh, we can't really kick the into the Royal, can we? We definitely can't. I don't really want to spend a whole turn doing this. I might just play Baloth. It blocks our opponent's whole team, and we've already established that we're happy to trade Mammoth for Farsight Adept. If our opponent wants to go late, I think we're happy to do that as well. Next turn, we could reclaim the waste to grab 2 islands, and then we get to attack for a hefty amount. Problem is, our opponent might just drain us here. Yeah, we shall trade this off. Opponent have a combat trick. So our opponent gets to eat our whole board here. So we've got a fight spell. So, I'd really like to have a second island available. This doesn't even block particularly well, does it? I wonder if we go get a single island. Taking 2, 4, 5 on the swing. This just trades off for one of their creatures there. It doesn't feel like we're in a better situation at all. I don't think we can afford to go get 2. So the plan is here just to into the Royal and try and slow our opponent down. I'd really have loved to have gone got 2 lands. So when this enters, each opponent loses 1 life. No, we're going to gain a life whenever you gain life. So we're going to bounce the Core Celebrant back to our opponent's hand here. Our opponent gets to gain another life when it enters, but we stop it with the Marauding Priest. Guess that didn't work out too well. So what, we can kick this for 5 and then Bubble Snare. And this is one of the reasons Bubble Snare is so powerful, that we get to double spell here. Not the best Bubble Snare in the world, but we have 2 more potential removal spells. Not so good. So this looks like a turn where we just put the Marauding Blight Priest back in our opponent's hand. Try and slow them down a little bit. Are we playing out the ambush? This is what, 5 mana to kick? So we'd have 2 mana next turn, potentially 3 if we top deck a land. And we still have a fight spell available. So I'm suddenly not liking our position very much. I think missing a land drop or 2 was real tough on us. Our opponent's also been missing lands, but they've had a consistent play every turn. So, we'll see. Hopefully this Skyclave Plunder, we can find time to sort of get it off. We need some interaction to break up our opponent's combo. So we're going to take 2 here and then 3, but we need to have the pump spell available. So we need to inscription here to gain us what? I think we have to do it now. We could do it in combat to try and trick our opponent, but we'd fight this and then we'd die to the Expeditioner. So we'll just do it now. So many modes to select. And I think we are going to save that, get the inscription back. And I don't think we can go on the offensive just yet. So we'll get the inscription back and then we'll use it again. So I thought it only gained 1 life, but it gains life equal to their greatest power. Yeah, we will eat that up. So opponent looks quite desperate here. I think we're gonna sit back for 1 more turn to get our inscription back. If we need to use inscription as just a one-time thing, we can to save our life, but we really like to kick it. Okay, so our opponent's going to be able to get a bit of value off of this bubble snare. Don't know why I struggled with the name there. So let's attack. I mean, we have to start somewhere, don't we? What's this, 5 mana? I think I'm happy to trade off the Royal Mage to look at some cards. So you get to play Baloth now. I'm probably could have seen this play if I looked a little bit better and known Baloth was coming up. We tap down for a turn, which I don't know if it's going to be a mistake or not. I'm pretty confident if we untap, we can lock this game away, though. Especially with the Sproutling, what are we going to do? Get back into the Royal. I mean, we could just cast the Inscription and then get it back again. Yep. So our opponent decided not to sack the Blight Priest in the end step. Yeah, I think we're just going to take over here. So our opponent had a window there to close the game. And I think they missed it. Yeah, we still have legal targets for this, so we still get that to let that resolve. I think we're going to... We don't need to do the Sproutling now, so we're going to just go for this. Hit through some extra damage. So Cleric's List has done a really good job of padding their life total, but they've missed a few too many land drops. They're coming through now. And they're suddenly lower than us. Just sacrificing the mage. That might be why our opponent didn't sacrifice the Blight Priest earlier to the Relic Vial. So we just get to go super big here. This is the third inscription we're casting. Okay, so put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature. We shall put them here, I guess. And then it can fight. I guess it doesn't matter. We'll put them here. Target a player. Target a creature you control. This is going to have to fight this. Yes. And then we attacking for some massive damage. It makes sense our opponent takes it there, and then next turn they chump block and activate Relic. This is just the clerics list really stalling, buying their time. We have, what red cards have we seen? So they've been splashing for a Relic Robber. This is a Spikefield Hazard. I don't know if I agree with this splash, but this has been a marathon. 14 cards left in library. We've drawn a few extra cards. I think we're at that point, win or lose. This has been a fun game. Wow, I am so sorry, opponent. So what, we can just get back the inscription again. I actually feel rather bad for our opponent here. This is the 4th inscription we're casting. Yeah, I actually feel a little bit dirty for casting 4 inscriptions in one game, and I think they're almost back to back. But yeah, after that marathon, let's move on to the next game. Okay, Zendikar Rising Draft. We just finished an absolute marathon, but we came out on top just about after casting our 4th inscription. Now we are going on the draw with more Simic Kicker. Arguably my favourite archetype in the format. Archetype? I think we're going to keep this. This hand's really slow, but as long as our opponent doesn't just run over us, we should be okay. We have enough lands to do what we want to do, and that really helps. Yep, it looks like our opponent isn't going to run over us. I think we might still cast this on free, since we still have quite a way to go. Yeah, I think playing this on free feels really good actually, since our opponent's going to not want to attack for a few turns, in which case we can buy ourselves some time to kick this. And there's always the opportunity we can put the counter on this later on. This is a filler free drop that has some really good synergies. If we draw Scale the Heights, it's going to be really good since we have the extra lands. So what, turn 4 we could Bubble Snare something. Probably just going to pass here. We're going to take 4 from our opponent. And then we might just Scry free, draw 3. Yeah. Another really good target. A little bit of damage there. I mean, plays are just lined up at this point. And we're just going to bounce that Prowling Feldar back to our opponent's hand after they play their land drop. Maybe they don't have a land drop. But we're not going to take 3 unnecessary damage. Since if our opponent just replays that, we just get to play the Geyser Mage after. Yep, just keep... I wonder... I think Balef's better here, isn't it? But maybe we can set up a double spell turn later on. I actually don't know. I guess time locking our opponents a little bit better. We could also have considered kicking this, which I actually think might have been a better shout. We still have a lot to do, though. Okay, that is certainly going to be good. So what, we can cast this for x equals 5 at the moment, so it'll enter with 7 counters on it. That's not going to be easy to take down. I think we play this in the hopes we can draw land next turn. I guess if we actually do this, no, we can't do both. What do? Just take our 5 this turn and have a look for some extra cards. Yeah, I like that. I don't necessarily like them picks, but we'll take them. This Vine Gecko is a play we can make. So if our opponent has some sort of like Ixalan's Binding effect, O-Ring sort of effect, we're going to be in a pretty bad way. I wonder if we just take the double block here. This has reach. No, it doesn't. So what? Which ones do we care more about? I think we care more about the Vine Gecko since it's going to give us a discount. It's only on the first one. But the flyer, I guess if we draw a Scale the Height, so I can put a counter. That's the only way to put a counter on it though. So if we draw Scale the Heights, we get punished. If we don't, then we're fine. But I think we take this trade. I think we care more about the Vine Gecko since it can grow. So the fool I am, we could have actually played Baloth, played land, pump it, and then fight. But because we didn't take that route, I am just going to kick this for as big as we can. So we can kick it for 8. We kick it for 6, but we pay 8. And then next turn we can either do the same. If they answer the Split Current, we can... How was it? Verzol? Verzol? I'm awful with the pronunciation of these. With our Serpent Friend, we can either fight it with that, or we can play the Baloth, play land, and then do that. Yep, that was one of the better answers our opponent could have had. So we shall go with our play. So, Vine Gecko not paying off too much, but we have a ton of kicker cards left. So maybe it was right to take the damage, since our opponent hasn't had more land drops, it was right to take the damage from the Prowling Felidar when it attacked. It's back in our opponent's hand. And into the Roiled the Sentinel back. Okay, so we have some choices here. I think we're going to offer the trade with Baloth since we don't have many other answers. We're not gonna offer the trade with the Vine Gecko though. Interesting how our opponent just done nothing there. Sure. So that was our opponent's play. I guess we could have done this prior. I am a fool sometimes. We could have done this prior to pump this. But I don't think it's obvious which one we would have wanted. Which one we would have wanted to trade. Our opponent knows all the cards in our hand now. Yeah, this makes me feel bad that our opponent decided to take the trade. Since our opponent knows all the cards in their hand, they know if they can beat us from this position. But I don't know whether they wanted to trade us there or not. I guess since they're happy playing a longer game, they've missed many land drops. Looks like we're not going to be that punished though, since we are also going to be hitting some land drops. So we need just some kicker cards off the top, really. Royal Ray, a Tazim Royal Mage would be really good. Just pick up this Skyclave Plunder, get us back in the game. Ooze. Yeah, put it on itself. Oh, okay. Our opponent got some good synergy. So we get to soak up 2 damage. Okay, so we get to kind of get back in the game now. Gonna get the... It's definitely the right card to get, I think so. Just get all 3 of them. So, I'd love to kick this. Can we afford to take a hit? So we're taking 4... I guess we can soak up this. I think we got to try and take the hit, haven't we? We'll not get back in the game otherwise. We've got to hope that these cards can hold off for a bit. Yeah, we're in a bit of a dire situation here. Why didn't our opponent get in the extra damage there? They could have got 2 more damage in. So we have perfect amount of mana here. We have to sit back, I believe. So we lose 1 life if we do this in our opponent's turn, but we get the flexibility of... I guess again, damage will be marked on our creature since they fight. It doesn't bite. So it's probably beneficial to do it now. And what we're looking at, the ooze is the most damaging one. And if we put 2 counters on the Riptide, it allows us to kill some of the things. I guess we actually don't want to. We want to put it on the Sentinel since that can hold back everything. So we want to put 2 counters here. We want to gain 6 life. And then this creature is going to fight ooze. And then we're not going to attack since give our opponent the opportunity to trade. But the Sentinel can now hold the line. I say it can hold the line. It can't hold the line now, but it could hold the line. Oh! Oh my god. So what? We can... Opponent has no cards in hand. Seems like a strange attack. Yeah. Just... I'm missing something, aren't I? Nope, our opponent's just testing our ability to maneuver a board. So what? 4, 6, 7. We're going to have 7 mana available to us. So what, we just get Inscription back again? This Inscription is doing it for us. And what, we just fight the Ancient Green Ward. This, I tell you what though, this has done insanity for us. So what, are we doing it now? I see no reason not to, because the damage is marked. If we do it in our opponent's turn, the Risen Riptide will have power. I guess... no, because we don't want the damage marked again. I keep going through the same plays, but I wonder if there is a reason. So now we get to put the 2 counters on this, and then we fight this. And we shall gain the life. And target creature we control, and then we want to fight the Green Lord. So far this draft has been play Inscription, use it, get back Inscription. Play Inscription, get back Inscription. Play Inscription, get back Inscription. I think we can go on the offensive now. We have to close the game. He's going to take a bit of damage on the way back, but maybe it was too aggressive there. But our opponent can pick up a land, play a land. It's gonna get a hand. What land is this? He can fight something. Oh, it doesn't feel good. So they get to grow everything, then they get to pick up the dual land, fight here, and we take what? Oh, they're not going to take the angle. So we shall trade off, go there. 7, 13 we're taking. I don't think it works out if we just sit back. Yeah, it certainly doesn't work out now. Because they get to put an extra land into play. And what? This can kick, but... again... we can't survive an extra attack, can we? Can we just kick this for 1? It doesn't really matter, though. Since we're not attacking anyway. Wow, these have been some marathons of a game. Our opponent has had a really good deck though. Both of the games so far, while long and grindy, have certainly been interesting. This is exactly what Kicker wants to do though, and our opponent's on the landfall Simic Selesnya list, sorry. So what's our opponent going to do here? They can pick up their a double face card and a land. Play the land, fight, kill our Sentinel, and then it's sort of over from there. Okay. Our opponent just decided to sit back there. This might be exactly what we need. I can't believe it. Are we getting Inscription again? So what, we get Inscription, we get to gain 10 life. Is this an instant? This is an instant, so we have to be careful of how we time this. We get to gain 10 life. And then we get to smack our opponent for 10. Kill one of these. That should be all good, shouldn't it? Oh my god, are we gonna get out of this? Is Into the Royal better by bouncing one of the Felidars? I think it's just better to kill one of the Felidars, isn't it? We haven't laid land, I don't think, this turn. We have not laid land. Wow. Our opponent can pick that up at instant speed, though. We need to be real careful about how we time this. I guess we can just double block and take 4 if necessary. But this puts our opponent dead. Next turn. They got to have something special. Oh, we're going to pull it out. Okay, so if our opponent targets the territory. They didn't do it. Okay. Okay, so we get to put 2 counters on it. It'll make it 10 power, so we're okay still to... Oh, the timing here is so tough. This is not easy for our opponent, though, so we're gonna... So, it will still have a legal target, so I think our opponent's still dead, aren't they? So we get to block here. Block here. These don't have trample. Yeah, this will only get... Yeah, okay. If our opponent just lets damage go through here, it's just over, isn't it? So what are we taking? 8, 9, 10. I guess we are actually taking lethal, so we do have to do this now. So put 2 +1/+1 counters on a target creature. We are going to put them here. Target player, we shall gain 10 life. I guess we'll only gain 3 life. I guess we actually don't want... Ah, opponent's going to concede! No, I wanted to work that out, opponent! No! No! Okay, we managed to get there eventually. I guess our opponent didn't want to see us work that out. But I'm actually considering we didn't want to target the Skyclave Sentinel because if our opponent kills that in response, we'll only gain 3 life. And we can't kill our opponent back from 3 on the way back. So I think we actually have to fight something else. But I don't actually think it matters what we fight, if that makes sense. So we could put the counters on here and get this to fight this, for example. That also keeps us alive, and then we still have lethal in the air on the way back. Oh, tough though. Okay, Zendikar Rising Draft. We are on game 3. We're currently 2-0, and both of our games so far have been insanely long. Longer than some best of 3s I've played at FNMs and on Magic Arena. But we're going to go first, and I think we're going to keep this. We're a little bit land light, but I think we're going to play this Mammoth out as a land. One of the beauties of the double face cards. Really powerful card, but I definitely want to hit my land drops, and it looks like it's already paying off. We're just going to play this out as a 2-drop. We could have waited until we played the Split Current and instead made 2 of these. But, oh well. I'm just going to play this Vine Gecko out. So really happy we played the Mammoth since we're not drawing lands, but hopefully we do draw a land soon. 1 more land will open up this hand. We get to play the Baloth. We're not going to trade since this Gecko only does 1 less damage and it really has the potential to grow. Royal Mage. Okay, this actually costs 1 less, but we do not have double blue. Unfortunately. I think we just play this for 3 mana. It blocks the Royal Mage, and we can, if we draw blue, make 2 into the Royals. So we shall attack. Since we can't have a turn of doing nothing. So we'd get to keep a 1-1 and copy it into the Royal, but we really want to find a blue source. It shouldn't be that hard. We have a completely even mana basis. I'm actually really high on this squid as well. Obviously not like... There's no natural fit for it anywhere, but if you're struggling for 2 drops, it's pretty much a 2 mana 3/2 vanilla. It's closer to that. We'll take 1 more hit of this, and then we might trade Vine Gecko. So this costs 1 less to cast. But I still think we're going to have to just... We might actually attack. They've gotten into the Royal, haven't they? Missing land drops is really going to hurt here. And these as 4 mana 4/3s aren't the best deal. Yeah, getting into the Royal. Can we just let this happen? I think I'm happy to just play this back out, actually. Are we happy just to play this back out? No, I think we'll have just... I'd rather just play this, actually. Like, if we can kick this for 4 instead, this still blocks the Royal Mage. If they have removal, great. But if we can play this for 4, then that's into the Royal twice and then Sproutling twice. We're at a point as well where we might just be casting into the Royal unkicked. And then Sproutling can get it back later on. Just if we need to buy ourselves time since we are not drawing lands. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Our opponent has a trick here, but we're gonna say, what have you got, opponent? Show us your trick. Like +1/+1. Would be, I think we'd be really happy with +1/+1. It looks like since they're taking their time, it could actually be an inscription. What do you know? Inscription. So I'm actually not. It's still bad, but we got to kill one of our opponent's creatures. It's not the end of the world. Of course, we don't draw blue, and we're gonna play this as a 4/4 because it can block the squid. X = 2. We would pay the Bailoff, and I'm actually... Maybe the Bailoff was correct, just to trade it off. But I don't think we need to get too greedy. Our hand's quite good. If we get to copy this into the Royal and this Sproutling, we are just golden. I'd even be happy just into the Royal, kick one of our opponent's things, get back the Split Current again. That wouldn't be the end of the world. So our opponent, I think, certainly should have attacked here first if they were going to bluff it. And that is perfect. We can just do this now. And then we get 2 extra damage in. Oh, this value is insane. Oh, you love it. That's so good. We're gonna try and cast this Sproutling next turn and get 2 3/3s for 5 mana and get back into the Royal and the Skyclave Sentinel. I love these synergistic decks. You can maybe hear it in my voice when you... So opponent's going for the Sproutling. Maybe they're getting in... They're getting Inscription back. They're playing what we've done for the last 2 games. They might just cast it unkicked here just to stop this Split Current. Cut their losses while they're ahead. They're not going to do that though. Unfortunately, opponent, we are going to probably bury you here. Yep, get back into the Royal. Get back. Yeah, I will trade off both our Sproutlings. We have so many cards. Yeah, you can probably hear my voice just enjoying the synergistic decks so much. When a draft comes together, you really feel it. It was definitely worth pivoting. It's such a powerful card. Whenever I played against it, I've been buried completely. And I've yet to play with it, so it's always really fun when you maybe stick your neck out a little bit on these drafts to play with something new and it works out. Even when it doesn't necessarily work out, you still got to experiment a little bit. And I've played like quite a lot of Zendikar recently. If anyone is interested in any of the other Zendikar drafts, maybe you're enjoying the commentary or just enjoying the sort of vibe of the recording so far, you can go over and check out the YouTube channel Radio Magic for some other Magic the Gathering in a block here. Some other Magic the Gathering content. We got drafts, deck techs. We have the lot. We also have some Fall Guys, Among Us. Been playing quite a lot of that recently. The reason we're blocking with a token here instead of the actual card is because our opponent, I'm very aware that our opponent has Into the Royals in their list. And I'd rather them to bounce the Sproutling, since I would love to get my Into the Royal back. So just a Rapid Bite here. So our opponent could get something back. So I don't want to bounce this back to our opponent's hand. We just want to see lands here. That would be perfect. So our opponent just going to cast a Kicked Inscription. Yeah, they know we have the Into the Royal, so they're going to get rid of that while they can. I think I'm happy just to tap this down. It's a 5/5. Let's not waste any time. None of our creatures can successfully block it so far. We are going to win this race. Like, there is no doubt about this. If we can survive, we will win. We have just so much value. So we can cast the Royal Mage to, like, get back this, to get back another kicker card, if we want to get back a creature, maybe. Having said, our opponent has a nice little combo of their own. Okay, so our opponent has pretty neat combo here. They can then kick into the Royal to put the Royal Mage back in their hand, which draws them a card, and then they can kick it to get it back and rinse and repeat. I actually think we're gonna play this out to stop our opponent from attacking and also put some pretty good pressure into play. And then if our opponent goes to kick into the Royal, we're actually gonna just waste our Into the Royal to... Interesting. So they're gonna use this to get back the Into the Royal. Or they're gonna get back Inscriptions. They'll kick this for 5 and then they'll get to kill our Baloth. This is in our combat as well. Let me just let this happen. Oh, I was confident we're going to win a minute ago, but our opponent has some nice cards. If they have a land here, they'll also be able to kick this Inscription. This is how you win draft. This is how all 3 of our games have gone so far. Wow, they also have a Crawling Barrens. So they kick Inscription here, get to kill our Baloth and smack us for 2. But that looks like that's the end of the madness. They decided not to go infinite. They decided to go for a little bit faster and try and close this a bit quicker. Which we'll see how that works out for them. So this is going to be a 4/5. Not quite enough. Let me just play this, pick up no lands. What's this land? Mammoth? Is a 3/3 any good here? So we could play this and Skyclave. Which actually might not be that bad. I think we just need to unpour our hand a little bit here. Which I quite like. We can always pick this up with Into the Royal later on and play it again. So we're not going to be bouncing our opponent's targets back since they have so many good kicker cards in their graveyard. Say so many, there's 2. I'm actually a little bit worried since our opponent has a Crawling Barrens, which with the mana they have available can just keep pumping. We'd really like our Inscription. We're not really in a position to attack, are we? Oh, we only have double blue. We have to use both of our blue. So this is 5 mana, this is 5 mana, so it really does not matter. guess this blocks, but it has higher toughness. It forces them to spend their colourless mana if they'd like to recast it. Opponent's gonna attack with a 4/4 instead. Maybe that attack was incorrect with the Baloth. Oh, so we have to what? So we have to go like take 8. It doesn't feel good as well. No, they have trample. Yep, that would have been the argument to bouncing the colony back last turn. Okay, yeah, misplay ended up costing us the game there with trample. I really thought we had that when that game went longer, but our opponent, excellent player, and had a really sweet deck as well. Okay, game 4, but we're currently 2-1 with Zendikar Rising Draft. I really like this hand. I'd like another blue source. Something we struggled with in the last game was finding our double blue in time. We stumbled a little bit on mana. So stumbled a little bit. We stumbled quite a bit on mana. So hopefully going Vine Gecko on 2, maybe Sentinel on 3. We'll see how this looks. And then this on 4 because it costs 1 less. I think that looks better. Start the growing of the cat. So we can play this on 4 if we want to, and then this on, what is this, 6? This is actually turn 6, yeah, this is turn 5. But disappointing, but we still get the effect of it. There is a situation in which we could kick it into the Royal, bouncing the Bubble Snare back. So if our opponent sort of forgets about it and the Vine Gecko grows, could snipe our opponent. Opponent has all of the Bubble Snares. Maybe they're stuck on lands as well, they're splashing. Oh, opponent opens with double Bubble Snare and Blood Chiefs first. Not bad, not bad. I don't really know where we go from here because we're sort of 1 land off casting this. I don't really want. Are we just doing nothing? I mean, if our opponent was on a lower life total, I could see doing something, but 1 more land and we can kick this. And I'd like some relevant cards. I guess we could have kicked this actually to get back the colony, and then we're at least doing something. I think that would have been right, actually. Yeah, I think it was correct to kick this to get back the colony. Now we shall play Baloth. Our opponents had a good opener, though. We also had a good opener, but our opponents been fortunate as well. They've had some really good cards. Though, this is the beauty of this set, though. Most of them are commons. We've got an uncommon. Yep, just gonna keep missing our blue there. Yeah, we shall attack. See what our opponent's got. It's hard to believe that they don't have a 4-drop available to them, though. So what? We just put the Skyclay Sentinel back in our opponent's hand here to fizzle the counters. think that's right. We could put Vine Gecko back in our hand. Kind of want to save our Baloth though, make our opponent just waste their turn. Hurts my soul not kicking the... Oh, I'm not gonna... Am I gonna just play this out? I don't think so. If we draw an extra mana, it's something we can do. If we don't draw an extra mana, we've given us something we can get back into the Royal. Okay, let's not make the mistake of missing that. So opponent has something. So opponent just into the Royal that back. I think we're going to use this opportunity to play out this. Vine Gecko, not the best target for Bubble Snare. Good answer, but creatures with passive effects obviously still count. They're worth something. I'm not sure what our opponent's plan is here. Is this each turn? Okay, so we're going to really take advantage of this now. Not something I've taken advantage of before. We can cast the Into the Royal in our opponent's turn, so it's going to be discounted. We could, in end step, like I said, bounce that Bubble Snare back to our opponent's hand, which actually might be the play. So what do we do here? Because we could, for example, bounce the Bubble Snare back to our opponent's hand, and then we could Tazim Royal Mage kicked, costing one less, for 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to get back the Into the Royal to kick this, and then we'd be attacking for, this would be 6 power, 7 power, because we're kicking it now and we're kicking this, 7 power, 10, 14, so we'd in theory have lethal if our opponent has no interaction. Do you know what, our games have been long so far. I'm gonna go for it. Oh no, wait, because our opponent would have a blocker, wouldn't they? So I'd force our opponent to block. So they'd block 7 and take 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's not really worth it then. So I think in that situation, what we do is we just bounce this and go fully in again. And then we just attack here. And then we kind of set it up in a position where next turn we have lethal in quite a few different ways. With the Into the Royal, the Geyser Mage. Our opponent's in a bit of a sticky situation. They might just try and slam as many things down here as they can, but unfortunately the Sentinel is just lethal. This has trample, so it might be worth just bouncing that Bubble Snare back at this point. Yep, and then our opponent gets back the 1 mana Blood Chiefs first, and then they get to kill one of our things. But I think that works out as lethal, yeah. we get to bounce their Bubble Snare, and then we're attacking for 6 power and trample as well as the rest of the threats. But I say it was nice to have a quick game, but that was still a little bit long. But we'll move on to the next one. I think this hand is a keep on the play. Definitely a keep. I think, again, we're going to lead with Mammoth. If we drew land there, I might have contemplated it, but we're going to lead with Mammoth. We're probably playing Colony on 2. Yeah, playing Colony on 2. Not gonna waste time. So Reclaim the Waste, like, at first glance, it just doesn't seem particularly powerful, but it's something that just sort of pulls the list together. Obviously, there's the beneficials if you're splashing, just very good, but it just guarantees you hit your land drop. And in, like, you've seen multiple times in this list, a lot of the time, like, you use all of your mana. There's been some of the last games that we won, game 1 and 2, some of the grindy ones. We were making land drops every turn, and we got to a point where, yeah, we definitely, so playing against clerics, we definitely were able to take over because we're making land drops every turn. So this looks like a pretty scheduled few turns. It looks like we're going to into the Royal kicked, and then we're going to Sprout Lane, get back into the Royal kick again, and hopefully we'll just go from there. We could after that, because that's going to be turn 5, and then we could have a turn 6 this or turn 6 this. So it looks like our opponent's going to take a island off of us here. Well, they're going to take a land, but they shall not be taking anything else. They'd probably take Forest. I would take Forest. Yeah. Forest actually might hurt a little bit as well. We haven't actually got any good into the Royal targets, but what we can do, like, just, I guess we can just get 2 lands. No, we didn't miss our land drop. I think it's fine. So we're playing against a similar list that our opponent was playing in game 1, I think, when they were playing, it might have been game 1, when they were playing Clerics, but they played Spikefield Hazard as an extra card, and that is a good one. So we need to bounce this in response to the trigger so they don't get the cat. Just make our opponent, essentially their turn red, gain 1 life. Make a land drop, gain a life. I guess this thing is going to be a nuisance later on at some point. The Baloth can actually attack through this, and it gives us some incentive to use the Reclaim the Wastes next turn. Our opponent probably just repeats their turn here. Don't get me wrong though, this Attended Healer is going to be difficult to beat, and that's quite the combo. Every creature gains some 2 life. So I'm probably going to kick that cat back to their hand, just to make them waste extra thing. Maybe we'll make them waste 4 mana again, but then they just get a chump block, I don't know. They just chump block and then play again. Yeah, opponent's going to chump block just to save some life here. I don't want them to get into a position where they're able to just soak multiple hits from the Baloth. And we're hopefully going to try and get them low enough that we can Skyclave Sentinel for the win. Ooh. Has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more counters on it. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you get to put a counter on it. If it was a cleric, you may draw a card if you do lose a life. Okay. Creature you control dies, put a counter on it. So whenever a cleric dies, it gets to draw a card and lose a life. And it has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more counters. That's, okay, so these aren't clerics. This isn't a cleric. So, opponent's on chump block, I guess, yeah. We are on attack the sky mode. and try and lower their life total. I would like to really find an answer for this thing at some point. So we're probably going to Skyclave Plunder next turn. This is going to be very good, especially if they find the 3 mana artifact. Then we might be able to find our thing that steals it. So what is this? It's top 4 library. Yeah. Opponent's gonna... Yeah, opponent's got all of the cleric pieces you want, including a powerful rare. I mean, I don't even know what we target here. Let's have a look. So they just keep chump blocking with this cat. Is this cat's job? Yeah. Okay, this is this cat's job. And do we play this out now, or do we hold up the fight spell? Hold up fight spell. We're in a bit of a situation here, since this draws a card every time a cleric dies. Anytime a creature dies, it gets a counter. It gets a bit bigger. Whenever a cleric dies, they draw a card, and whenever any creature enters, this gets a counter since this gains a life. If it's a cleric, they gain 2 life, and then whenever they gain a life, they get to make a thing as well. So what the choice here is to, I think it's to kill the Taborax, Hope's Demise, and then Bubble Snare the cleric. And we'll do it here so we get some extra value. It's another non-token creature. If they have a removal spell here, at least it gets a little bit better that they have to use like double removal. I like the little trick there. It gets lifelink, this gets a little bit bigger. Opponent gets to hit for 4 here. On the upside, we get to 1 mana Bubble Snare. We will take this trade with the healer. So we get to stop 1 damage, they hit for 4. And I still think we want to 1 mana Bubble Snare this. And I'm not actually certain what we get back. I think we're getting back a flyer, maybe. This thing is this attended healer has just been a chump blocker for this Baloth all game. Every cat it's made. I think we're actually getting back the Sentinel. It's going to be a constant source of card advantage. The Into the Roar is just like an extra card it's drawing. And then next turn we need to hope our opponent runs out of value here. But we get to 2 more land drops for the Baloth. We get to kick for the Risen Riptide, and we get to Skyclave Sentinel. And we're going to hope that will bring us kicking and streaming across the finish line. Nope, opponent keeps bringing the pain. Oh, yeah. We will fight through this the best we can. Okay, so our opponent's list so far has been pretty mental. Fortunately, this can kill this, though it's going to take it down with it. Yeah, we'll take our 4. If our opponent has an answer to this Skyclave Sentinel, we are in a bit of trouble. No artifact of steel yet, so no. So 3. Unfortunately, we can't kick Reclaim the Waste. And all of these creatures have Death Touch, so I don't even think we're attacking this turn. So what we do, we just pass in there. I don't really want to, like, what's this? This cat's gonna trade. I actually don't know if it gets any better, but we're not winning in the situation we're in. This has been a tough game, definitely tough game. Yeah, and second blood price. Opponents had some above average draws. Though they've played it well, definitely. I think we've done the best we can. Okay, so they're playing clerics, but they're splashing for Zagras, Thief of Heartbeats, and the Bug Catcher. They're gonna. I mean, if you got something, opponent, you got something, but we're not winning with this Thief on the field. I don't know. I don't know how we. I mean, that's the start, isn't it? Are we trading? Are we at the point where we're trading our Bailoff? Yeah. It's a lot more consistent. Otherwise, they just get to keep attacking him. I think we're trading our Bailoff, aren't we? If we wanted to, we could trade Risen Riptide, actually. They have a full party. We could kick this for 1. And then trade the Risen Riptide. Which I think that's better, actually. We are kicking and screaming, but we are gonna hope that we can pull this across. I don't think we're attacking here. We have some good draws still. This has definitely been one of the longer drafts I've played. Yes, opponent, some synergy. I don't even think we're going to be able to close the game in 17 draws. At the moment, our plan is to hit them with the Skydiver each turn. Which I don't think is particularly viable. We'll see. I mean, if I was opponent, I'd definitely be getting in there with the Bug Catcher at the moment. I'd be attacking with the Farsight Adept and the Bug Catcher, probably. Well, that's not a bad draw. Let's get in there for 2. Yeah, we shall pick up 2 lands. Shouldn't really blow your own horn, but I think we've done okay. So what do we have? Tazim Royal Mage we can steal. Tazim Royal Mage would be quite good. Get us back a Skyclave Plunder. It's just this combo, like, breaking up this combo would have been really good, but unfortunately we had to answer the Zagras. Pronunciation is awful. And unfortunately, we can't just do a full swing because our opponent really isn't low enough. But you know what? We were talking about good draws. That was certainly one of them. So this has Death Touch. No, this does not have Death Touch. They don't have another Rogue. So we'll have 2 mana left over. Probably just getting back a Skyclave Plunder, aren't we? I don't think we're dead on the swing back. Our opponents were attacking for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we can block. Like, we'll trade with that. Yeah, we'll attack. 5, 5. Yeah, we got a few blocks. It actually would have been... Yeah, I'm such an idiot. It would have been better to have attacked with the Stomper instead, so our opponent can stop chump blocking with these cats. We also have our Serpent still left on the list as well. Okay, so we definitely need the card draw at this point. We could have actually... that might have been a mistake. Yeah, that very possibly could have been a mistake, and we were actually meant to pick up the Into the Royal and bounce the Dazim Royal Mage and have something constant going. Or, let's see. We have another Dazim Royal Mage, but let's see if that comes back to bite us. Maybe that's too slow as well. I think our opponent's in for a few bad draws, though. So what? We get to scry 5. Yep. 1, 2, 3. No reason to kick any of these now. Just attack like so. See if our opponent's still on chump block mode. So they are. How greedy do we get here? Probably a little bit. We can cast the Scale the Heights. We'll go with that. And if we put the counter on here, it allows us to block a lot more. Is that correct? It allows this to start attacking. Equally, if we put it here, this is what, 7 power, 3, 5, 6. No, it doesn't really change the math at all. I guess if we put it here, this allows us to trade with some of their 3 power creatures. I think I prefer that. And we shall not play that land. It's quite possible that I'm making some big mistakes here. These are quite marathons, a lot of decisions to make. Super fun though, I have to say that. Okay, so we have 6, 10 mana available to us, so we could do this for 8 and then play the Gecko, and then next turn we can set up. I think I like that. So let's repeat again. Actually, I don't think we can attack in. How much do you have to play this for 8? We get to attack for 2. So we can play this for 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, we wanna pay. Do we even care about Gecko? If we get this, we can kick it once and still eat the Seagate Colossus. I think we just do that. Yeah. I don't really think we care about Gecko too much. We could always play Gecko next turn. There's no reason to play it now. And then we get to still get a discount on this, and we'll have the mana to do both. I feel it's starting to turn in our favour now. There was points throughout this game that I was absolutely certain that we had lost it. And we still might have, since they're about to tap down 2 of our creatures. It's got to be our 2 big boys, isn't it? I mean, there's no way we're out of the woods yet. We could see a full swing here, though, just as a desperate attempt to get through this final damage. His opponent's attacking for quite the bunch. So, how realistically would our trades look? This looks like the final attack, though, so... we probably want to... So they're attacking for 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage, and then 5 trample. 16 damage. So we want to put the lowest toughness in front of this. This gets to eat this. We'll do our most favourable blocks, and then we'll go from there. So at the moment we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Am I missing anything? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think this is fine. 6. Oh, and we also get to take 5 actually. Block like that. Oh, I haven't missed anything. Go on, pump your entire team and wipe us out. No, you're saying lifelink. I think that's GG. Have I missed anything? No! Are we going to pull through? Are we going to pull through? It looks like we are going to pull through. Ooh. Okay, so... we attack for 10 to like that. Yeah, we get to block, soak up 10, and then we get to kick this. That gets a counter. We take 2 off, take action. We get 2 4/5 flyers. Yep. Any reason? What are they going to attack? They attack with all these. We got plenty of blocks. We got blocks for days. Yeah, I think our opponent was losing that race. Maybe they just got a little bit impatient, but as you can see, patience paid off. We were in a really bad situation for a lot of the game, and we were persistent. We made the best plays we could, and it came out okay. Okay, so our opponent's still going for the long game by taking out not one of our blockers. I don't know if that's right now. I think it's maybe a little bit late. What are we going to do? We're going to Tazim Royal Mage, get back into the Royal, and then bounce something. Bounce a blocker. Oh, okay, here we go. So how much mana have we got? 6, 10. I think we just do this, don't we? Two +1/+1 counters on the target creature. I guess we'll put it on the... Oh, we need something to fight. So this is going to be... If we put a land down first, does that change the math? This is going to be a 8/7. So it's still going to die there. An 8/7. So we just want to give something 5 power. 2 +1/+1 counters. Target a player. And then we shall get these two to fight. Not the best trade-off ever, but it shall do. Do we have any basics left? Yep, we have 2. For the marathon of a game. Wow. And yeah, we shall attack like this. We're not gonna trade. I guess we should have attacked with Vine Gecko as well, but we're not gonna trade the cleric for the Skydiver. Yep, I don't really see a way out of it for our opponent now. Good game though. That was quite the game. Our opponent played really well. Hats off. We've had some really good opponents during this run. Some real grindy games. I'm in for them decks though to take 20 minutes to win a game. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we are going first this time, and this has been the first hand we've had that looks... Well, we've had some unreasonable looking hands, but this looks a little bit more unreasonable. No blue mana, nothing to do early on. I think we're gonna have to mulligan this. I don't like mulliganing on the play, but... Whoa, this hand looks just as bad, but I don't really want to go to 5. Going to 5 feels like an auto loss. So we'll see how it goes, but you guys be my witness. Variants are a thing. We could have kept the last hand, but if it had both our colours of mana, like if people who watch the channel a bit know, I'm quite lenient with hands that I keep. Right, there is a line to which you can take. Okay, not a land that we wanted, but it's a playable card. Hopefully our opponent's like very slow out the gates. It doesn't look like it, but... Okay, it's a land. We really, really want to hit a blue source now. Yeah, we can't stop this onslaught. We need to hit a blue source. That is not a blue source. This is going to be a very, very quick loss. We'll take one more hit from these. I mean, we're just dead if our opponent has removal now. We don't top deck Sam relevant. I think it's already too late, but... Okay, so we do summing. We're going to get very lucky to stay in this game here. If our opponent has anything relevant, we are out of it. We're currently on an effective what? Not a lot. We're taking 5 here. Going to 3. Do I have an Into the Royal? Okay, so we're still alive. We're not just dead. Our opponent has any burn, we're out of it. But what are we playing around at this point? We're just playing this for 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. So X equals 3. We'll play around our opponent having removal, but we can't play around our opponent having burn. Yeah, this is gonna be too much. This is definitely going to be too much. I mean, if our opponent has nothing else, then we might be okay. Oh, we can't even kick this, can we? Oh, no! Not like this! Okay, so our opponent has a land. I mean, we're out of it, aren't we? If we... If we had a blue source... This keeps coming up. Maybe we need to add an extra blue source. If we had an extra blue source, we could have done this, kicked this, got 2 copies of it, bounce, bounce, or bounce, bounce. Oh my god. As it stands, if our opponent has anything, we're out. So what's the best odds if we're playing our opponent having anything? It's probably Bubble Snare, isn't it? And should we lock this down? I mean, no, it's not looking good. If our opponent has a land, yeah, we're dead. As long as they put it on another token, yeah. Yes, opponent. Our opponent skipped their attack step? It doesn't look like it matters because we did not draw land anyway, but our opponent missed their attack step? Are they just playing with us? Our opponent's got another burn spell, yeah? Why is our opponent playing with us? They had lethal. Yep, we can into the Royal One thing, but unfortunately not good enough. Okay, so had we have drawn a blue source there, we might have been dead still, but had all things gone our way, like our opponent missed their combat step again, we might have been okay. Okay, so we are currently 4 wins and 2 losses, so 1 more loss and we are out of the draft. We are playing Simic Kicker, and I'm going to put my hope in this hand. Both games we've lost so far has been to Mana Screw, so I'd rather not die to Mana Screw, and if our opponent runs us over, though that card does not make me believe they're going to run us over. Though don't count your chickens before they hatch, since our opponent's starting with a squid. And we're taking an immediate free. Yeah, we have to contribute to the board this turn. Fortunately, we're going to be contributing not necessarily meaningfully, since our opponent can just attack anyway, but bail off next turn. And then I don't really want to play this just out as a free drop. So probably dodge a turn and go Stomper. Since between Bailoff and Riptide. Oh, yeah, this might already be another loss. Felidar Retreat's going to be really tough to beat on turn 4. And a Prowling Felidar just knock that home. Opponent's going to pump the whole team. And not attack. Well, is our situation getting any better? The answer is no. So our opposed creatures all get vigilance. So what? We kick this for no value. We get to attack for 11. And our opponent takes 11, goes to 9. They then get to lay a land, hit us for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. And they will have vigilance. So they fall to 9, we fall to 2, and then it's over from there. Yeah, it doesn't seem like a good plan. Yeah, it just goes to show. I think the list we're playing is very good. We got unfortunate on some of our games getting, yeah, there you go, falling to Mana Screw. But what can you do? So all of our opponent's creatures are always gonna have vigilance. I guess we can hope our opponent doesn't top deck lands, but it's not looking likely at this point. I guess that's not bad actually. We can reset this Prowling Felidar. And then we could always get it back and do it again. I don't think we're going to have time though, are we? So, if our opponent has a land, we're dead. 3, 4, 5. I guess we can play it this way, kick this, and then just play out the Tazim Royal Mage. Hurts my soul, but then we have the opportunity to double block. If our opponent doesn't have a land, if our opponent does have a land, we can double chump block. So double chump block it is. The problem is now our Cunning Mage doesn't even finish the job. Yep, opponent just seal our fate a little bit harder, would you? Yeah, it's GG. Prowling Felidar Retreat on turn 4 is definitely a strong play. Yeah, it's over. And just an Into the Royal to finish it off. Opponent top decks. Oh, not bad, opponent, not bad. That was a pretty sweet list from our opponent. They had everything they needed, and definitely closed the door rather fast on us, but brought our draft to an end. So we went with 4 wins and 3 losses. I think I'm still going to post this since I saw some comments on a YouTube video recently where someone played a draft. I can't remember the pro player, and they had a really good list, and it went 4 and maybe went 4 and 3 or 3 and 3, and they posted it up, and a lot of the comments in the comment section said this did a lot for people's mental health, that you can draft a list such as this one that is rather powerful. I wouldn't say this is the most powerful list I've drafted, but certainly powerful, where you can draft a list as powerful as this and you can still get mana screwed. And I will post this up and let this be an example to people that while you can have strong lists, stay modest and humble, because you can get run over. It doesn't matter. Like if the magic gods are not in your favor and variants don't go your way, you can certainly lose. But yeah, I really enjoyed this list. I thought it was actually really fun. The first 2 games we had were absolute marathons. I think, I don't know, maybe like 15-20 minutes per game, when I think a game should be lasting at 5 minutes. So definitely took it out of me, but it's something I've been missing a little bit. I've been playing a lot of best of 1, especially with draft, so missed them long games. But we managed to grind it out, coming through to almost the last card in our deck each game. I think we had like 5 left or something. But yeah, like I said, sweet list. I really enjoy Simic Kicker, and it was our first time playing the Serpent. I can't pronounce his name. I'm just going to throw that out there. So yeah. But yeah, I had a really fun time. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this added to some of your positive vibes that you're feeling this morning, this day or evening, whatever you're sort of up to, wherever you are enjoying this video. But I hope you guys had a good one. If you did enjoy it, I would ask very kindly if you would consider dropping it a like, and if you enjoy Magic content on the channel, consider subscribing. I have a Pokemon challenge coming up soon as well, something that I've been working on. It's taken a great deal of time, so if you're interested in them as well, make sure to keep an eye on the channel. Even if you don't subscribe, come back and check it out every now and again. But thank you anyway for sticking around to the end. I'm just rambling, sort of doing a sign off. I should really probably make these more concise at some point, and maybe come up with a script or something, but I like ad-libbing. It's pretty fun. But yeah guys, enjoy your day wherever you're at, and have a good one, and thanks for sticking by.